If anybody has an advantage or an idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Play? My hidden immunity idol? Why would I do that? Get out of here, Jeff.
The tribe has spoken.
Thank you.
Oh, there have been a few hidden immunity idols in my time. 1 or 2 or 146? Something to that effect. Sometimes, these are used to make really big moves.
I got it! Jerry, that one's for you too.
Damn it. Jacqueline, did you vote for who I told you to vote for?
And sometimes, they aren't. Sometimes, people just hold on to their idols.
Hunter, the tribe has spoken. Tiff, the tribe has spoken. Venus, the tribe has spoken. Q, the tribe has spoken.
And today, I want to see who held on to their idol the longest. This will be sorted by the number of tribals attended, not immune, where someone didn't play their idol. So humble landscaper Gary Hawkins, who found his idol definitely 100% on the ground.
I will say something, man. Tree mail I got in my pocket, man. That thing is definitely by far on the ground.
And played at the next tribal council would get a score of 0. Meanwhile, Jay found his idol in episode 4 and attended 7 tribals before playing it. However, he was immune for 2 of those, and so they don't count as holds, giving him a score of 5. Now say it with me, guys. Shout out Survive R linked in the description. It is epic and tracks advantages very nicely. If I could give any dataset a high 5, it'd be this one. Without further ado, top several longest idol holds in Survivor history. First up at number several we have a 4-way tie. Boston Rob in Redemption Island, Carolyn in Worlds Apart, Troyzan in Game Changers, which is weird because I didn't even know Troyzan was on Game Changers, and Dominic in Ghost Island. There are some other ties on the list, but they were way easier to break than this one. Man, what a group. This is the kind of group you'd see posted on Reddit with the caption, "What do these 4 players uniquely have in common?" as the title of the post. Then someone would comment, "They all played Survivor," and they'd get 1,000 upvotes. Boston Rob found his idol in episode 4 and then played it at the final 5, winning quite a few key challenges that prevented him from getting a higher score. If we were breaking this tie based on swag, then him throwing the idol clue in the volcano is definitely up there.
It really doesn't even matter what it says, because I already have the idol. So, might as well just throw it away.
Carolyn found hers in episode 1 and played at the final 6, again winning some key immunities to stop her score from going higher. If we break the tie based on who ruined the most birthdays, then she's up there.
Washing dishes on my birthday. 9 miserable days left on this island. It doesn't even grow coconuts or any fruits.
Troyzan found his in episode 2 and won basically all pre-merge challenges plus 1 individual immunity. Coffee truly is for closers. If we break the tie based on who ruined the season the most, then Troyzan is up there. Justice for Sari. Dominic found his in episode 2 and played it at the final 5. You may think Dominic had a score of 7, because I know you're definitely a big enough nerd to be double checking my math and not just taking my word on these things. But he played a legacy advantage at the final 13, which brought his score down. If we're breaking the tie based on who once starred on the Nickelodeon game show Make the Grade, then Dominic would have this in the bag. I spent an ungodly amount of time searching for footage of this show. I'm so sorry I couldn't find the Dominic episode. Please enjoy this photo though. And let me know who you think deserves the coveted number several spot in the comments below. If you don't, then this is a top 10 list, and I promised I would never make a traditional top 10 list, so please break the tie in the comments below, I desperately need you to. Also subscribe while you're down there. Next up we have Tiffany from Survivor 46. She held her idol for several tribal councils. She's also the only person on this list to hold her idol for so long she got voted out with it in her pocket. Bet she wishes she was tied for number several right about now. She found her idol in episode 1 and was immediately faced with fierce competition. The fact she managed to hold onto her idol in the face of Survivor legend Zelensky is honestly commendable. I probably would have folded immediately. She then had to survive multiple tribal councils with some of the most explosive Survivor players we've ever had the joy of watching. How do you not get antsy when Barney was over here using the Force on Jeff? Or when Q exists. He even managed to bluff her idol one round when Hunter got too comfortable and didn't play his. I don't know how you can pull that off one round and then think it will work again a second time. That's the Q-skirt difference. He could find her in hide and seek, so he knew how to find her weakness in the game. Next up we have Sugar from Survivor Gabon. She found her idol in episode 2 and held it for several tribal councils. Can you tell I have precisely one joke? She goes above Tiffany for 2 reasons. 1. She was never voted out with an idol in her pocket. 2. She had an evil British henchman.
Oh my god, this is amazing. I just turned around and there's an elephant swimming through the water. Oh, how beautiful.
I sometimes forget just how dominant of a game Sugar played in Gabon. Did many people like her?
Sugar, you are an unemployed, uneducated leech on society.
No. Is she the first person in Survivor history to get to the end and never have their name written down? I think so, yeah. Sugar's idol was found on Exile Island, which allowed her to really quite enjoy her time out there, even dubbing that little alcove the Sugar Shack. I want more Survivor contestants having to toss up potential advantages with food. Give me more Austin Sandwich revenge story arcs, please, Survivor. This is also the only idol on the list to leave its owner's possession. Sugar gave it to Ace in episode 5, which had me worried she'd lose a point and be tied for number several as well, but luckily she got it back the same episode. Phew. Imagine what I'd do if there was a 5-way tie for number 6. That would have been a nightmare. At number 4 we have a castaway that I almost want to say doesn't count. We have Yule from Survivor Cook Islands, who held his idol through 9 tribal councils. But why should this not count? It's simple really. Yule couldn't play his idol. Let's rewind a bit. Yule finds his idol on Exile Island in episode 2. Man, that was a really big hole he had to dig to get that. Remember when idols had to have clues to be found? That was fun. Let's bring that back. After finding the idol, Yule really had to turn on his big brain to figure out how to use it. You see, he could play it after the votes were read, meaning if no one voted him out, he just got to be safe another round. And the idol never expired due to the final 3 twist. Fun fact, this means Yule was immune for all 39 days of Survivor Cook Islands, thanks to winning the 2 first tribal immunity challenges. There is a wild conspiracy theory out there that Yule was throwing individual immunity challenges in Cook Islands so that I-24 wouldn't have to worry about passing the idol around, but I'm not entirely sure I buy it. Now I don't dock points from Yule's game for the super idol. Identifying that Cowboy was too smart for coming up with Plan Voodoo.
She said, well, you need 3 of that and 3 of that. And I thought 3 and 3. That's how you can defeat the immunity idol. You can flush it out. And I woke up and I go, whoa, Plan Voodoo.
And using the idol to flip Jonathan against Riro. That's enough for me to rate him quite highly as a winner. But it certainly does put an asterisk next to how many tribals he held the idol for. Coming in at number 3 with not a single asterisk next to his name or a single doubt about any of his stories about Amazonians wanting to eat his ass.
I try to actually tone it down because if I tell them that they, that the tribe was, looking at my ass, talking about eating my ass.
It's Coates in Survivor South Pacific. He found his idol in episode 6. What? No. Guys, I'm receiving breaking news. It turns out Coates found his idol in episode 5 and lied to Brandon about finding it. I don't know if I can forgive him for this. So the blasphemous lying Devilman himself found the idol in episode 5 and was able to hold off on playing it forever for 9 tribal councils. I've put him above Yule because, he actually had a choice in whether or not he should play the thing. Coates held his idols through some tough times. If I'm him at the final 12 and I see Aussie play his idol, even incorrectly, I'm not banking on Cochrane. There are only 2 people on the Savai'i tribe at risk of drawing rocks, versus the entire 6 on the Apolu side. Frankly, Cochrane flipping is insane. Unless you subscribe to the theory that Coates threw heroes versus villains in exchange for a guaranteed win in a future season, and that Cochran flipped here in exchange for his own guaranteed win in a future season. Man, a lot of Survivor conspiracy theories today. Coates is also the only player on this list that isn't Yule to get his idol to the final 5 and not play it. What are your thoughts on this? A few Survivor players have done this in the past, and I think it can be a good move, but it can also make you look really arrogant, something Coates needed no help on. It can also make you look really disingenuous to your allies, something Coates needed no help on. Either way, he's number 3 on our list. Jumping up quite a bit, and number 2 we have Lauren from Survivor Edge of Extinction. We've had 6 tribals, several tribals, 9 tribals. How much higher can we go? Well, for Lauren, we can jump all the way to 12 tribal councils holding on to an idol. God damn. She found her idol in episode 2, and by God, she was not going to use that idol until she absolutely 100% needed to use that idol. Would she use it in episode 4 when David and Devons were coming for her? No way. Would she use it at the joint tribal where the other team wants to take out you specifically? Absolutely not. Would she use it when Julie loses her damn mind and jumps ship?
I don't have comic control. I'm on the bottom of comic control. No, I'm ready to jump ship. I'm ready to jump ship. I'm ready to jump ship.
Oh. Are you okay?
Oh my God, she lost her damn mind.
No. What about when her closest ally's being voted out with an idol in her pocket? Never. What about during any of Devon's idol plays where he could have very easily chosen to target her?
Ron and Julie, you are villains. I was already going home. You just want to make me look stupid?
Don't be bloody ridiculous. But would she use it on Chris after he got back from Edge of Extinction in a tribal where she herself didn't have immunity? Yeah, sure, why not?
I'd like to play this for Chris.
Hard to imagine why I'd want an idol at the final 5 for myself anyway.
Lauren, the tribe has spoken.
Oh, that's why. Honestly, I'm not meaning to dunk on Lauren too hard here. I've certainly never held a hidden immunity idol for 31 days. That's right, day 5 all the way to day 36. That's longer than some of my relationships. So who could beat her in this regard? Let's find out. At number 1, I cheated. We have Ty in Survivor Game Changers. I told you there were other Ties on the list. He found his idol in episode 5 and held it for 8 tribal councils before finally playing it at the infamous Final 6 disaster, which was somehow only the 5th worst tribal council in Survivor Game Changers. See if you can figure out what the other 4 are. But he did not have just one idol, he had 2 of the suckers. Because Survivor decided hiding the idols in the same spot across both camps was a good idea. This means, across both of them, he held onto his idols for 16 tribal councils. A record that may never be broken, especially considering there aren't even 16 tribal councils in the new era, and the new era doesn't seem very conducive to having multiple idols. Closest I can think of is Mike playing his idol on Marianne. Ty may be one of the ballsiest players when it comes to hidden immunity idols. He held onto one basically the entirety of Survivor Co-Wrong, and screwed over Scott and Jason. He played his idol at episode 4 of Survivor Game Changers, forever altering the course of history and absolutely shattering my hopes and dreams in the process.
I'm gonna vomit.
I'm gonna cry. Then, he held 2 idols through some events I absolutely would have burnt one for. Probably could have used one at the Zeke vote out. Probably could have used one the round after that, considering you got 3 votes at the Zeke vote out. And I am 100% using at least one idol at that final 7 vote. My vote has been stolen, what the heck?
Whose vote are you going to steal?
I'm gonna take Ty's.
Can anyone in their right mind explain how Ty managed to walk back to camp after that round? With those massive balls of steel and 2 idols? So Ty, out of all people, is the one who held his idol through the most tribal councils. But what do you think? Does Ty have the case for ballsiest idol holder of all time? Is Lauren more impressive, holding a single idol almost twice as long? Should Yule count? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Henry Hickman Survivor, and I see you hidden in like a tree or something,